Hey, how's it going? I'm Skitty Beans, and today we're going to be watching The Truth 15 Animal Myths Debunked. This is from a new channel that I had come across. It's called Cozy Creatures, and I thought this kind of sounded interesting to me, so we are going to be watching this today. If you do get a chance, I would appreciate if you could leave a like and subscribe. It would help me out a bunch. And I have Cozy Creatures video linked in my description below, so be sure to go down there and subscribe to them, like their videos, watch their videos. They seem like they got some pretty good ones, so I'm excited to watch this. All right, let's see what we are gonna get debunked.
Welcome back to Cozy Creatures HQ. Today we're diving into some of the craziest animal myths out there and revealing the surprising truths behind them. That's right, you've been lied to, probably for your entire life. Remember when your parents used to tell you not to turn the light on in the car because they'd get pulled over because it's super illegal and they'd get a big fat ticket and it would be all your fault? Well, that was a lie. They just
I remember that. My parents used to tell me that. For sure. Oh my gosh, that's funny.
didn't like it, so they told you not to do it. Anyway, yeah, you've been lied to. Now you're deeply distrusting, your walls are up, you won't let anyone in, and you're a sad, sad person. You should probably go to therapy for that. But let's get into these mind-blowing
Nah, I'm fine. I'm fine just the way I just the way I am. Yeah, and so are all of you.
one in and you're a sad, sad person. You should probably go to therapy for that. But let's get into these mind-blowing facts about animals. We're going to disprove the myths with facts. Did you know that porcupines can shoot their quills? I'm kidding. We're kicking things off with a spiky myth. Many people believe that porcupines can shoot their quills at predators. However, this is simply not true. Porcupines cannot launch their quills like projectiles. Instead, the quills are loosely attached to their bodies and detach easily when a predator makes contact. So while they're certainly a formidable defense mechanism, they're not exactly long-range weapons. Boom! Myth busted. I'm not gonna
I honestly don't know if I ever thought that. I mean like I know we see them in like cartoons and stuff like they do it, but I don't I don't think that I personally can say one way or the other if I actually thought this is a real thing or not.
lie, I never thought the porcupines could shoot their quills at their enemies. Maybe in cartoons, but not in real life. So if you ever thought that, I got news for you, buddy. You're a dumbass. I'm kidding. Total joke. Definitely not trying to pick on my audience here. I'll tell you something I did believe though. Wolves howl at the moon, right?
Oh yeah, this I would say that I actually believed for sure.
No, wrong. Wolves howling at the moon is a classic image, often depicted in art and media, but in reality, wolves howl to communicate with each other, not at the moon. They howl to coordinate their pack's activities, establish territory, and locate other members of their pack. The connection to the moon likely comes from the fact that wolves are more vocal at night, and a full moon just makes for a dramatic backdrop.
I wonder who came up with this theory that wolves howl at the moon though. I am curious about that now because I feel like we all kind of thought that as kids or even as adults too, you know. I wonder who put this lore out there that they howl at the moon,
Comes from the fact that wolves are more vocal at night,
or I guess
and a
where it
full
comes
moon just
from.
makes for a dramatic backdrop. Childhood ruined. Does this mean that people don't transform into werewolves during a full moon either? Like, does this like disprove everything about the moon and wolves? Because I'm I'm upset. Numero
True. I mean, if that's not true, then werewolves changing into or people turning into werewolves and full moons isn't true. I'm just kidding. My life is a lie. It's all a lie.
trace. That's Espanol for number 3. Earwigs crawl into people's ears and lay eggs in their brains. Gross.
I have never heard this, but okay. Hopefully this is not true. What the hell? I haven't heard this one.
Also, not true. This myth is the stuff of nightmares, but thankfully, it's just a myth. Earwigs do not crawl into people's ears to lay eggs in their brains. While their name might suggest otherwise, earwigs prefer dark, damp places like under rocks or in the soil. They pose no such threat to humans. So I guess unless your head is full of damp rocks, you're safe. Did you know that cows
I mean that at least that's good to know that it's not true. I have never heard that though. Have you ever heard of that? Like that's what earwigs do, or that's why they're called earwigs? I don't know. I honestly don't know why they're called earwigs, but I didn't think that that's what they did. If I know that as a child, though, I'd probably be terrified.
So I guess unless your head is full of damp rocks, you're safe. Did you know that cows lie down when it's about to rain? So if you see a cow laying down, you better take shelter, 'cause a storm's a brewing. Well, that's just a myth. That's not true. You may have heard that cows can predict the weather by laying down before it rains. However, cows lie down for many reasons, such as to rest, chew their cud, or cool down. There's no scientific evidence that their behavior is linked to upcoming rain. So next time you see cows lying down, it doesn't necessarily mean you should grab an umbrella. But you
I believe that because I've seen cows laying down in the wintertime where it's like winter, like we don't, like we have winter. And so I would assume that it's not going to snow. So if that makes sense, that checks out.
coming rain. So next time you see cows lying down, it doesn't necessarily mean you should grab an umbrella. But you never know. Cow could lay down right before it rains. Coinky dinks happen. Daddy long legs.
I mean, that's true, right? Like, I feel like that probably came from somewhere of cows laying down and then it rained and it was just a, very coincidental, maybe more than once type of thing. But I get it. This little cow's cute. This little cutie.
Umbrella. But you never know. Cow could lay down right before it rains. Coinky dinks happen. Daddy long legs are the most poisonous spiders, but their fangs are just too short to bite humans. This right here is a double whammy myth.
No.
First, daddy longlegs, or harvestmen, are not spiders, and they don't have venom
That's
glands.
true.
They pose no threat to humans. Even
I did know that daddy long legs are not spiders. Does it make this any more uncomfortable to look at though? Like why why are we why are we seeing these like unhinged videos of daddy long like this is like uh, uh. I don't mind them, but that doesn't mean I want to see like hundreds of them, you know? Like if I see one, it's fine. I'm not gonna like freak out, but um it's seeing like a video like this though definitely makes me uncomfortable.
Even the true daddy longleg spiders, known as cellar spiders, do have venom, but it is harmless to humans. Their fangs can pierce human skin, but their venom is not dangerous. I remember when
Oh, well, I didn't know that. Have you ever seen a basement I don't know if I've ever seen a basement spider. I hope I don't because I think I will not be very happy.
when I was a little kid, I saw those guys crawling around with their big long legs, and I'd be
Oh my
like, ah,
gosh.
spider! And my dad would be like, huh, don't worry, son. Those are the good guys. They're on our team. They hunt down the mosquitoes and all them other bugs you don't want around. He didn't really talk like that, but I wanted to do that accent. Goldfish have a memory span of only 3 seconds. That's right. They can't remember what kind of fish food you gave them for breakfast. I'm kidding. That's a myth. The idea that goldfish can only remember things for 3 seconds is a widespread myth, but it's far from the truth. Goldfish have a much longer memory span, ranging from several months to even a year. They can be trained to recognize their owners, perform tricks, and navigate mazes. Are you kidding me? So
That's cool. Have you seen the one where the guy has this fish play Elden Ring? I love that video. That's probably one of my favorite ones. I I guess I never really like thought about how good their memory is. I know for some fish, obviously, I think they're pretty smart, but I guess just so you're run-of-the-mill goldfish, it never really occurred to me about I mean, I have heard that saying of, like they have like a memory of a goldfish, but kudos to them though. I mean, hey, they're smart. They're good. They're cute. I kind of feel bad for goldfish though, because I feel like they get like only like almost like puppy milled, like the beta fish, that aren't raised the best, and their lifespan doesn't seem to be great because their raising conditions are kind of crappy. But I like goldfish. They're cute.
So give your goldfish some credit. They're smarter than you think. I feel like that
Yeah.
myth has something to do with the character creation process of Dory in Finding Nemo, but it could have also been dementia. Not sure. I bet you didn't know snakes can hypnotize their prey. Trick statement. If you didn't know that, you're right for not knowing that because it's not true. You might have seen images or heard stories of snakes.
I haven't heard that one either. That snakes can hypnotize their prey. That is one that I do not know of. This one's really pretty though.
You're right for not knowing that because it's not true. You might have seen images or heard stories of snakes mesmerizing their prey with a hypnotic stare. However, snakes do not possess any hypnotic powers. That's right, a nice pair of boobies has more hypnotic powers than a snake. This myth likely stems from the behavior of prey animals freezing in fear when confronted by a predator. The prey's immobility can give the impression of being hypnotized, but it's simply a fear response. Oh, it's fine, don't.
Were they gonna boop it? Bro, careful.
The prey's
Snakes are cool
immobility can
though.
give the impression of being hypnotized, but it's simply a fear response. Oh, it's fine, don't worry about my dog licking your face. Dogs' mouths are way cleaner than humans. Fuck off. They eat their own shit. Many dog owners believe that their furry friend's mouth is cleaner than their own. However, dogs and humans have different types of bacteria in their mouths. Neither is inherently cleaner. They just have different microbial communities. So while your dog's slobbery kisses may be full of love, they're not necessarily germ-free. Yeah, they're full of shit. Do bulls get angry when
I don't care. I will still take doggo kisses. I don't even care. This one I'm totally unbothered by. I will still take doggy kisses any day.
full of love? They're not necessarily germ-free. Yeah, they're full of shit. Do bulls get angry when they see the color red? Or do bulls see the color red when they get angry? Neither. They're colorblind to red. But I do know one thing. You mess with the bull, you get the horns, okay? The image of a bull charging at a matador's red cape is iconic, but the color red isn't what provokes the bull. Bulls are actually colorblind to red. It's the movement of the cape that irritates and provokes them to charge. So, it's not the color, but the action that gets the bull riled up. Did you know that camels
I think I did know that too. I think I did know that it wasn't the color that makes them angry. It was like the cape itself. But I mean, obviously, I don't know. People are crazy. Think of stuff. I feel like the red cape is just like a way to enhance, I guess, the anger or to like create false information like that.
them to charge. So, it's not the color, but the action that gets the bull riled up. Did you know that camels store water in their humps? Their humps, their humps, their lovely water-holding humps. That's a common misconception. Camels' humps do not store water. In fact, they store fat. This fat can be converted into energy and water when food and water are scarce, helping camels survive long periods without drinking. Their ability to go without water for extended periods comes from their efficient water conservation mechanisms, not from water storage in their humps. Ostriches bury their heads in the sand to avoid danger. That is a classic myth. They actually bury their heads up their own asses. No, I'm kidding. The classic myth that ostriches bury their heads in the sand to avoid danger is close to the truth, but it's not true. In reality, ostriches don't do that. When threatened, they lie flat on the ground and press their heads and necks against the earth to blend in. This behavior can make it appear as though their heads are buried, but it's just a clever survival tactic. Not sure how.
And aren't there eggs underground too? So they stick their head on the ground to check on their eggs. And isn't that a thing, right? If I remember, I think.
Well, it works, but that's what they do. We all know that elephants are afraid of mice, right? Wrong. The idea that elephants are terrified of mice is a fun one, often depicted in cartoons and movies. However, there's no evidence to support this. Elephants have poor eyesight and might react to sudden movements or unfamiliar creatures, but there's no specific fear of mice. They are more likely to be cautious or curious than scared. Oh,
I do remember hearing that, but that was the one that I never believed. That I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Even my little kid brain was like, I don't know about that. But I wonder where that came from, or if that was just like a cartoon thing that got maybe set in people's heads, because they always saw it in cartoons, so they thought it was right.
thank God, this
I
whole
wouldn't be
time I just thought
surprised.
elephants were giant wimps. You see that baby bird over there that fell out of its nest? Well, don't touch it. You don't touch that, or else its mother will abandon it for the rest of its life and it won't be cared for and it'll probably die young. That is actually a myth. That's not true. If you touch a baby bird, that does not mean its mother will abandon it for the rest of its life. Its father might. I'm messing around. But statistically, Anyway, back to the facts. This myth likely originated from well-meaning advice to avoid disturbing wildlife, but it's not true. Most birds have a poor sense of smell and will not abandon their chicks if they have been touched by humans. It's still best to leave wildlife undisturbed, but touching a baby bird won't lead to abandonment. Piranhas can skeletonize a human in seconds. What the fuck does skeletonize mean? Piranhas have a fearsome reputation, but the idea that they can strip a human to the bone in seconds is an exaggeration. Oh, piranhas are primarily scavengers and opportunistic feeders, not aggressive predators. While they have sharp teeth and powerful jaws, they rarely attack large animals or humans unless provoked or extremely hungry. Is skeletonized a real word? Oh, it is. It's to reduce something to a skeleton. And for
I mean, fair enough. I think I do remember that from one of Casual Geographic's videos that they were talking about piranhas and how they're like misunderstood and they're not as evil, just like the sharks have a bad rap. I feel like piranhas kind of have a bad rap too because of the movies, for sure.
For my final myth, chameleons change color to blend into their surroundings. Oh, come on, don't tell me this isn't true. Chameleons are famous for their color changing abilities, but they don't do it primarily to blend in with their environment. Okay, so they can though, right? Instead, chameleons change color to communicate with each other, regulate their body temperature, and express their mood. Their color changes can be influenced by light, temperature, and emotional state. Lucky bastards. I can only change colors when I get a sunburn, and those suck. But I can change color pretty fast. If I bring a red towel to the beach and I lay down for about 3 minutes, I'll be blending in with my environment. I have like no melanin in my skin. I
Oh,
get sunburned really easy. And there you have it, folks. 15 crazy animal myths debunked. It's always fascinating to learn the truth behind these widely held beliefs. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more amazing animal facts. And don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
aw, this was good. I thought this was kind of entertaining. I feel like this is like more like entertainment facts, but not a bad video. I enjoyed it. Definitely learned a few and learned some new ones that I did not know but never thought, and I didn't realize that they were a thing. So that was that was definitely an eye opener one. Like the earwig one, I mean, I gotta say, if I was a kid and I heard that, I would probably forever be terrified of earwigs. For sure. I would just be permanently scared of them because that would probably be like a key moment in my life of like, or a key memory of like, oh yeah, they're gonna like lay eggs in my ear. That would be that would be an irrational fear for sure. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate you guys being here. Be sure to go and like and subscribe to Cozy Creatures. This was good, not bad. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one.